Top 25 Video Editor Interview Questions and Answers. Master video editor interviews with concise, practical guidance covering skills, workflows, storytelling, and tools. Use these questions and answers to build confidence, clarity, and job winning. 1. What is video editing and why does it matter? Video editing matters because it transforms raw footage into clear, engaging stories that communicate purpose and emotion. Strong pacing, continuity, and visual rhythm hold attention and guide understanding. Thoughtful cuts remove distractions, emphasize key moments, and reinforce narrative flow. Sound design, color, and motion graphics enhance mood and credibility. Effective editing improves accessibility with captions and structured visuals. For brands, it increases retention, watch time, and conversion. For filmmakers, it shapes tone and meaning. Editors also solve problems creatively when coverage is limited. Ultimately, editing is where story is discovered, refined, and delivered with impact for audiences across platforms worldwide. 2. Which editing software and tools do you prefer and why? Professional editors rely on nonlinear editing software, such as Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, and DaVinci Resolve for cutting, trimming, and timeline management. After Effects supports compositing and motion graphics, while Audition or Pro Tools handles audio cleanup and mixing. Color grading commonly uses DaVinci Resolve. Asset organization benefits from tools like Frame.io for review and cloud storage for collaboration. Keyboard shortcuts, plugins, and presets accelerate workflow. Hardware matters too. Calibrated monitors, control surfaces, fast storage, and reliable backups protect quality and efficiency. The best tool set depends on project needs, team pipelines, and delivery requirements for modern production environments. 3. How do you organize your editing projects? Efficient project organization starts with consistent folder structures, clear naming conventions, and label bins for footage, audio, graphics, and sequences. I ingest media with verified backups, create proxies for smooth playback, and add metadata or markers for quick search. I group clips by scene, take in camera, then color label tracks for clarity. Versioning is controlled with incremental saves and dated exports. I maintain a project log to track notes, approvals, and changes. For collaboration, I sync assets through shared storage and lock sequences when needed. This structure reduces errors, speeds revisions, and keeps complex timelines manageable across demanding professional productions. 4. How do you improve the pacing of a video? Improving pacing begins with defining the story objective, audience expectations, and emotional beats. I trim relentlessly to remove redundancy, shorten pauses, and tighten transitions. I vary shot duration to create rhythm, using faster cuts for energy and longer holds for emphasis. Music selection and beat matching guide timing, while J-cuts and L-cuts smooth dialogue flow. I test rough cuts with fresh viewers to identify slow sections. Using markers and timelines, I map act structure and adjust accordingly. If engagement dips, I reevaluate opening hooks and sequence order. Pacing is refined through iteration, feedback, and data-driven performance insights for sustained retention. 5. What is your process for color correction and color grading? Color correction ensures technical consistency, while color grading establishes artistic mood. My workflow starts with balancing exposure, white balance, and contrast using scopes. I match shots across cameras to maintain continuity, then apply a creative grade aligned with brand or narrative. I use LUTs sparingly, preferring node-based adjustments for control. Skin tones are protected, highlights preserved, and noise minimized. I monitor on calibrated displays and export test clips to verify across devices. When collaborating, I share stills and references to confirm intent. Strong color work elevates professionalism, supports storytelling, and reinforces emotional cues without distracting viewers across diverse viewing environments. 6. How you handle audio editing and sound design. Audio quality often determines perceived professionalism. I begin by cleaning dialogue with noise reduction, de-essing, and gentle compression. I balance levels to maintain consistent loudness and ensure clarity on small speakers. Room tone is used in mass cuts, and crossfades prevent pops. Music is ducked under speech with automation, and sound effects are layered to enhance realism. I monitor with headphones and speakers, checking for phase issues and distortion. I follow delivery standards such as LUFS targets when required, clear labeling and organized tracks, streamline revisions. Thoughtful audio work immerses viewers and supports emotional storytelling through precise technical consistency always. 7. How do you collaborate with clients and team members? Collaboration requires clear communication, predictable workflows, and respectful feedback handling. I start by confirming briefs, deadlines, formats, and success criteria. I share work in progress cuts early using review platforms, inviting time-coded comments to reduce ambiguity. I document decisions and maintain change logs to prevent scope creep. When feedback conflicts, I propose options supported by rationale and examples. I remain flexible, separating personal taste from project goals. Version control is rigorous, and exports are labeled consistently. Regular check-ins keep stakeholders aligned. This approach builds trust, accelerates approvals, and results in edits that serve both creative vision and business objectives efficiently, consistently across teams. 8. How do you handle tight deadlines and pressure? Handling tight deadlines depends on planning, prioritization, and disciplined execution. I clarify deliverables, define must-haves versus nice-to-haves, and create a realistic timeline with milestones. I prepare templates, presets, and bins in advance to reduce friction. During crunch, I focus on high-impact tasks first, avoiding perfectionism that delays delivery. Keyboard shortcuts and batch operations save time. I communicate risks early and propose trade-offs when scope exceeds time. Regular autosaves and backups prevent catastrophic losses. After delivery, I review the process to identify bottlenecks. This system enables reliable performance under pressure without sacrificing quality for clients, agencies, broadcasters, creators, startups, teams worldwide. 9. How do you tell a stronger story through editing? To tell a stronger story, I begin with understanding character, objective, and stakes. I outline the narrative arc, then select moments that reveal change. I use contrast, callbacks, and visual motifs to reinforce themes. I prioritize clarity by removing tangents and simplifying structure. B-roll is chosen to add context rather than decorate. Music and pacing are shaped to mirror emotional shifts. I test multiple assemblies and compare outcomes. Audience empathy guides choices more than technical flash. When footage is limited, I use creative solutions like montage, split screens, or graphics. Story-first decisions consistently produce memorable, effective edits for lasting impact. 10. How do you measure success of your edited videos? Measuring success combines creative judgment with performance data. I evaluate clarity, pacing, and emotional impact against the brief. For marketing content, I review analytics such as watch time, retention curves, click-through rate, and conversions. I compare versions through A/B tests when possible. Client feedback, approval speed, and revision counts indicate process effectiveness. Technical checks ensure exports meet specifications and play flawlessly. I document lessons learned to refine future workflows. Ultimately, success means the edit achieved its purpose for the audience and stakeholder. Continuous improvement, curiosity, and responsiveness to data help maintain consistently high standards across projects, platforms, timelines, budgets, expectations. 11. How do you handle client revisions and feedback? Handling revisions professionally requires patience, structure, and clear communication. I begin by welcoming feedback and ensuring I fully understand clients' intent before making changes. I categorize revisions into technical fixes, creative preferences, and objective requirements. This helps me prioritize tasks efficiently. I use time-coded feedback tools to avoid confusion and reduce unnecessary back and forth. When feedback is unclear, I ask targeted questions to confirm expectations. I keep previous versions saved so changes can be reversed if needed. Most importantly, I remain flexible and respectful, remembering that collaboration produces stronger results. Positive revision management builds long-term trust, repeat work, and strong professional relationships. 12. What are proxies and when do you use them? Proxies are lower-resolution versions of original media files used to improve editing performance. I use proxies when working with high-resolution footage, such as 4K, 6K, or RAW files that may slow down playback on standard systems. Proxies allow smoother scrubbing, faster previews, and more efficient workflow without compromising final quality. Once the edit is complete, the software reconnects the timeline to the original high-quality files for export. This approach saves time, reduces crashes, and improves productivity. Proxies are especially helpful when handling large projects, multi-camera edits, or collaborative workflows involving shared storage environments and remote editing setups. 13. How do you ensure continuity in your edits? Continuity ensures the video feels natural and visually consistent. I maintain continuity by carefully matching action, eye lines, screen direction, and timing between shots. I review footage thoroughly to select angles that connect logically. I avoid jump cuts unless stylistically intentional, and use cutaways or B-roll to hide inconsistencies. Audio continuity is preserved using room tone and smooth crossfades. I also check wardrobe, lighting, and background details to prevent distracting changes. Watching the edit multiple times helps identify errors the first pass might miss. Strong continuity keeps viewers immersed in the story instead of noticing technical flaws or confusing transitions. 14. What is the difference between hard cuts and transitions? A hard cut is a direct switch from one clip to another without visual effects. It is the most common and effective editing technique because it feels natural and keeps storytelling clean. Transitions, such as fades, dissolves, wipes, or zoom effects, are used to indicate time changes, emotional shifts, or stylistic tone. I prefer hard cuts for most storytelling because overusing transitions can feel distracting or unprofessional. When I use transitions, I ensure they support the narrative rather than decorate the edit. Understanding when simplicity is more powerful than effects demonstrates strong editorial judgment and professional maturity in modern editing practices. 15. How do you edit for different platforms like YouTube and TikTok? Editing for different platforms requires understanding audience behavior and technical formats. For YouTube, I focus on strong storytelling, clear pacing, engaging hooks, and longer attention. For TikTok and Reels, I prioritize fast cuts, bold captions, vertical framing, and immediate attention within the first seconds. Aspect ratio changes, subtitle placement, and save zones are carefully adjusted for each platform. I also tailor music style, transitions, and visual energy based on platform trends. Export settings differ for resolution and compression. Adapting edits to platform-specific strategies improves reach, engagement, and overall performance across diverse digital audiences. 16. How do you use B-roll effectively in your videos? B-roll supports storytelling by adding visual context, hiding cuts, and improving engagement. I use B-roll to reinforce what the speaker is saying rather than adding random visuals. Strong B-roll selection improves clarity and emotional impact. I place B-roll over jump cuts to maintain smooth flow and improve professionalism. Movement variety and relevance guide my choices. I also use B-roll to establish location, atmosphere, and pacing. When footage is limited, I creatively use stock clips or motion graphics. Effective B-roll feels natural, strengthens narrative understanding, and keeps the viewer visually interested throughout the entire video experience. 17. How do you maintain consistency across multiple episodes or projects? Consistency is achieved through templates, presets, and documented style guidelines. I create reusable project structures, intro sequences, lower thirds, and color profiles. This ensures each episode feels connected visually and tonally. I save LUTs, adjustment layers, and audio presets to maintain uniform quality. I also document font choices, transition styles, pacing preferences, and branding rules. Reviewing previous episodes before editing new ones helps preserve continuity. Consistency builds brand identity and audience trust. Whether editing for YouTube series, corporate clients, or educational channels, structured systems ensure every project maintains professional coherence while still allowing creative flexibility and growth. 18. How do you deal with low quality or problematic footage? Low quality footage requires creative problem solving and technical correction. I start by improving exposure, reducing noise, adjusting color, and sharpening cautiously. Audio issues are addressed using noise reduction and equalization tools. If visuals remain weak, I use B-roll, graphics, zooms, or creative cropping to enhance presentation. Slow motion, black and white grading, or stylized effects can sometimes turn limitations into artistic choices. I communicate honestly with clients about what is technically possible. Instead of focusing on flaws, I focus on storytelling strengths. Skilled editors adapt to limitations and still deliver polished results that meet expectations. 19. What file formats and export settings do you commonly use? Export settings depend on platform and project requirements. For most online content, I use MP4 with H.264 codec because it balances quality and file size efficiently. For higher-end delivery, I may use ProRes or DNxHR formats. Resolution, bitrate, and frame rate are matched to the original footage and delivery specifications. Audio is usually exported at 48 kHz for professional compatibility. I always review exports before delivery to confirm quality. Proper naming conventions and organized delivery folders are part of professionalism. Understanding codecs and formats ensures videos play smoothly across devices without unnecessary quality loss. 20. How you stay updated with editing trends and technology. I stay updated by following industry creators, professional editors, and filmmaking communities. I regularly watch breakdowns, tutorials, and behind-the-scenes workflows. Online platforms, forums, and newsletters help me track new tools, plugins, and techniques. I experiment with features in software updates to stay competitive. Studying viral content trends also improves my understanding of audience behavior. I believe learning is continuous in creative careers. Staying curious keeps my work fresh and relevant. Technology evolves quickly, and adapting early gives a strong advantage. This habit ensures my skills remain modern, competitive, and aligned with professional expectations across changing platforms. 21. How do you handle multi-camera editing projects? Multi-camera editing requires strong organization and attention to detail. I begin by syncing all camera angles using timecode or audio waveforms. Once synchronized, I create a multi-camera sequence to switch smoothly between angles. This allows me to focus on storytelling, performance, and pacing rather than technical confusion. I label camera angles clearly and monitor consistency in lighting, color, and framing. After selecting the best angles, I fine-tune cuts manually for natural flow. I also check continuity carefully to avoid visual jumps. This workflow is especially effective for interviews, podcasts, live events, and professional productions. 22. How do you protect your projects and prevent data loss? Protecting projects is essential for professional reliability. I use a structured backup system that includes local drives, external drives, and cloud storage. Important projects follow the 3-2-1 rule. 3 copies of data stored on 2 different devices with 1 offsite backup. I enable autosave features and manually save versions throughout the editing process. Project files are clearly named with dates to prevent confusion. Before deleting media, I confirm that final delivery is approved. This approach protects against crashes, corruption, and hardware failure. Strong data management demonstrates professionalism and ensures client trust and long-term project security. 23. How do you approach editing interviews or talking head videos? Editing interviews requires balancing clarity, emotion, and pacing. I start by listening carefully to the full conversation and identifying key themes. Then I structure the edit around strong statements and logical flow. I remove filler words, long pauses, and repeated points while preserving the speaker's natural tone. Jump cuts are hidden using B-roll or camera angle changes. Subtitles and clean audio improve accessibility and engagement. I also focus on facial expressions to maintain authenticity. The goal is to present the speaker clearly while keeping the video engaging. Strong interview editing makes content feel natural, professional, and easy to follow. 24. How do you deal with creative blocks as a video editor? Creative blocks are normal, so I treat them as part of the process. When stuck, I step away briefly to reset my perspective. Watching reference videos often inspires new ideas. I revisit the project brief to reconnect with the original purpose. Sometimes I create alternative versions of a scene just to explore possibilities. Music can also unlock emotional direction and improve flow. Organizing footage again can reveal overlooked moments. I avoid forcing creativity and instead focus on small technical tasks until momentum returns. With patience and experimentation, creative blocks usually become opportunities for better solutions and stronger storytelling outcomes. 25. Why should we hire you as a video editor? You should hire me because I combine technical skill, storytelling ability, and professionalism. I understand that editing is not just cutting clips, but shaping messages that connect with audiences. I respect deadlines, communicate clearly, and handle feedback positively. My workflow is organized, efficient, and adaptable to different styles and platforms. I continuously improve my skills and stay updated with industry trends. I take ownership of projects and care deeply about delivering high-quality results. Clients benefit from my reliability, creativity, and problem-solving mindset. I do not just deliver videos. I deliver content that supports goals and creates real impact. These video editor interview questions and answers provide a complete foundation for confidence, preparation, and success. Practice regularly, refine your skills, and approach every opportunity with professionalism, creativity, and continuous learning.